Alrighty, so today, starting in our comfortable seated position, we'll just close our eyes and just breathe in through our nose, out through our mouths. Feel those sitting bones press into our mats. Bring our focus inward and check in with how we are feeling today. Take this opportunity to let go of any tension that we may be holding in our bodies. Let go of any expectations that we may have of ourselves or of the practice. Good. And then opening the eyes, inhaling, lifting our hands up to the sky. Good. And then exhale. Let's take those arms back behind us. Open up our chest. Drop the shoulders. Lower the hands down. Inhale, lifting high. Big circles with the arms. Inhaling up. Exhaling back and around. One more time. Inhaling up. Exhaling back and around. Excellent. One more time to inhale to the sky. And now exhale. Let's tilt over to the right, lowering that right hand down to the ground, lifting up and over with the left, pressing our left hip down into the mat. And then inhaling high. Exhaling over to the left. See if we can open that side body. Inhale, nice and high. And then exhale, let's bring those hands forward, chest comes forward, holding here, over our legs, hands can come down to the ground. Take a few breaths here, inhaling and exhaling deeply and completely. From here, keeping our chests low, we'll walk the hands around to the right. And then slowly, let's walk the hands around to the left, all the way around. Back to the center. One more inhale, lengthen in the spine. And then exhale, walking the fingers forward, lowering a little bit further down. Good. And then let's continue to walk those hands forward. We'll roll over the shins, come up onto our hands and our knees. Fingers are wide, pressing into the mat. Knees are underneath of our hips. Let's tuck those toes and we'll press back toward the heels. Get those ankles and arches opened up a little bit. And now begin to activate in that tummy all around in our torso. As we press back, keep that activation. Inhale, coming forward into our tabletop. And then exhale, hinging only at the hips, pressing back. And inhale, we come forward. And exhale, back. One more time. Inhale forward. We should feel strong. Exhale back. And walk those hands out just a little bit further. Let's inhale, come forward into a baby plank. Tucking the tail, lengthening in that spine. Now we can soften the feet behind us. And exhale, we'll lower the chest down. Hands are underneath of our shoulders. Inhale, let's scoop that chest forward and up into a little cobra. And then as we exhale, press back, child's pose. All the way back, rounding the spine. And inhale, up into our little plank. Exhale, we lower down. Inhale, a little cobra here. And press back to our child's pose. And inhale one more time through this half series. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale to our little cobra. And press back all the way to child's pose. Let's take a breath here in child's pose. Good. Coming back to our tabletop, hands come back underneath of our shoulders. From here, let's exhale, round in the spine, tuck the chin in towards our chest, lifting the back up to the sky. And then inhale to our cow, dropping the tummy, lifting the heart and the tail, little arch. And then exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Good. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Good. Back to that neutral spine. Strong tummy. Let's lift up the right hand up to the sky. And then exhale, threading the needle, bringing the hand all the way underneath the left arm, lowering the shoulder and the head down onto our mats. One more breath here. Good, and slowly we'll unwind, find our tabletop again. Inhale, lift up the left hand, open up those shoulders. And then exhale, threading the needle on this side. Arm comes underneath the right, shoulder and ear come down to our mats. One more breath. And then coming back to our tabletop. Pressing down into our fingers. Let's tuck those toes again. Nice strong tummy. Let's lift the knees just a little bit off of the ground here into a bit of a bear position. And now we'll just take this right leg and we're just going to do a little step through, sit down onto that right hip, lift the left hand up to the sky. And then slowly we'll come back to that bear position. Lifting up the left foot, stepping through, sitting down onto that left hip, lifting up the right hand. Good, and slowly coming back. Do that 2 more times each side. Turning, lowering that right hip down, lifting up the left hand, and coming back to the center. Over, left hip comes down, turning to the right, and back to the center. Moving at our own pace, deliberately and keeping that good strong core. Last one, over to the right, lowering that left hip down. And back to our bear position. Good, right here, let's walk the hands out a tiny bit. Good, inhale, we're going to come forward into a plank. Stretch out those legs if we need to wiggle them a little bit. And now pressing back, bending the knees, lifting the hips all the way back to downward facing dog. Pedal those legs if we need. Give ourselves this opportunity to really get a good downward facing dog. Good. Inhale, let's come forward into our plank. Good. Exhale. Back to our downward facing dog. One more time. Inhale forward into our plank. And exhale, pressing back, downward facing dog. Good. Let's walk those hands backwards towards our feet. Find a fold here. Softening the knees, rounding in the spine. Inhale, let's bring our hands to our shins or to our toes. Looking forward, flat back, long legs. And then exhale, let's fold forward again. Hands come down to the mat. Let's walk forward into our downward facing dog. Good. Lifting up the right leg back behind us. Toes pointing down to our mats. Pulling those shoulders away from the wrists. And now let's step forward to the outside of that right pinky into a runner's lunge. Good. From here, lifting to a high lunge. Good. Inhale. Let's lengthen that right leg up onto our nice tall spine. Good. Exhale, bending that right knee. Coming to our cactus arms here as we exhale down into that lunge. Good. Inhale. Lengthening, lifting the hands up to the sky. And exhale back down to that lunge. Cactus arms, open up those shoulders or the chest. Shoulders are coming back. Good, hands come down to our mat to the inside of that right foot. And now let's lift up the right hand. And now as we exhale, bringing that right hand down, we're gonna touch the elbow toward the floor. If we don't get all the way down there, we're working toward the floor with that elbow. Inhale up to the sky. And exhale, elbow coming down. Inhaling up to the sky. And exhale, elbow coming down. And now let's place that right hand onto our mats inside of that right foot. And we'll turn and place the left heel down to our mat. Inhale, left hand comes up high for a side angle here. If this is tough with our hand on the ground, we can come up to our side angle, elbow to the thigh, elbow to, or hand to the ground, either way. Good, from here, let's engage that core. Inhale all the way up to reverse warrior. Sinking those hips down, lifting the heart. Exhale, down to our side angle. Good, inhale, reverse warrior. Now taking that right knee again, lengthening it long. Hips are going off to the side, back behind us, reaching forward with that right hand. So we're pulling the hips away from those right fingers. When we can't reach anymore, we drop that right hand, lift up the left for triangle pose. Beautiful. Let's bring both hands back down to the inside of that right foot, coming into our long lunge again. Let's step back, three-legged dog. Good. Let's bring that right knee into our chest. We'll turn those hips very similarly to what we did earlier and kick that right leg out to the side underneath. Our bellies out to the left. And then back to our three-legged dog. Good, lowering that right leg back down to our mats, downward facing dog. And now let's walk those hands backwards to our forward fold. Take a couple of breaths here. Inhale, half lift. So looking forward, flat back, pulling the shoulders away, long legs, weight are in towards our toes. Exhaling, fold. Good. And then walking those hands out into our downward facing dog. Pedal it out if we need. Good. Let's lift up that left leg. Three-legged dog here. Good. And now let's step forward to the outside of that left hand for our runner's lunge on this side. Take a bit, wiggle into the pose, lift the heart, lower the hips. And then finding the balance, inhaling up to our high lunge. Let's inhale, Lifting, lengthening that left leg. Fingers are reaching up to the sky. Exhaling back down to the lunge. Cactus arms here. Good. Inhaling up. And exhaling down. Good. Inhaling up. Beautiful. Exhaling down. Moving deliberately. Excellent. Hands come down to our mats. Find that lunge again. Inhale. Left hand comes up to the sky. And now as we exhale, let's lower the hand. Elbow comes down towards our mat. And then inhale, we come up. And exhaling down, elbow lowers. Inhale, we come up. Exhale down. And then let's place that left hand onto our mats. Strong hands here, strong feet. We'll lower that right heel down to the mat. Open up, lifting the right hand up to the sky for side angle. Good. Inhale, let's come all the way up, reverse warrior. And exhale down to our side angle. Inhaling all the way up, reverse warrior. Always moving with our breath. And whatever pace that we need to go at in order to do this well. Let's come up to reverse warrior. And then lengthen that left leg. Let's sass those hips back behind us. Reach forward with those left fingers. And then lower that arm down for triangle pose on this side. Beautiful. Let's bend that left knee. Hands can find the mat. Again, into our lunge. Let's step all the way back to three-legged dog. Good. Let's bring the knee into our chest. We'll turn the hips. Kick that leg out to the right. And then slowly we'll come all the way back to our three-legged dog. Good. Let's lower that left leg. Find our downward facing dog. Let's inhale, come forward to our plank. Exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, we can go to our cobra or come all the way up to upward facing dog. Let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, press back to our downward facing dog here. Let's lift up that right leg. We'll step forward in between our hands this time, into our lunge. Good. Fingers are going to go right in front of those toes, pressing into that right foot, lifting the left leg back behind us. Good. And now from here, let's see if we can begin to lift those fingers Up off of the mat, they can rest on our shin. Maybe we can get it up to the thigh. Or we can reach out in front of us for warrior three. Ooh, got windy in here. Good, and then slowly let's tilt our way up to standing. Bring that left leg up in front of us. And lower it back down so that we are here, feet together, hands are up into the sky. Lifting those fingers. Let's exhale, little back bend here. Inhale up. And then exhale, let's fold forward. Good. Stepping or hopping back to our downward facing dog. Good. Let's lift up that left leg. We'll step forward in between our hands. Find that lunge. Sink the hips down. And then when we're ready, we'll move those fingers out in front of the toes. Shift the weight into that left foot for a 3-point balance. Lifting the right leg back behind us. Doing our best to point those toes and hips down toward our mat. And when we're ready, if we're ready, begin to lift the fingers. Find our warrior three, if that's where we're at today. And then let's inhale, slowly tip our way up. Bring the knee in toward our chest, nice and tall here. Exhale, let's place that right foot down onto the mat, lifting the fingers nice and high. Hips come forward, shoulders and arms go back. Come back up to standing. I'm gonna turn and face you now. Let's bring those, let's let those hands come down into a Tadasana. Hands can come down to our sides. Take a breath or two here. Get some of the wiggles out. We are going to shift our weight onto this right foot. Good. Begin to lift up the left foot again, bringing the knee into our chest. Just standing here on one foot might be enough for us. That's totally fine. Good. And now let's bring those arms out in front of us. Good. Moving around while balancing is very difficult. So if it gets windy and we fall down, we just come back up again. Good. Now let's take this right arm, we'll cross it over the top of the left, and we'll twist those arms around. See if we can get our palms together. And then we'll take that left leg, cross it over the right, and then sit down into eagle pose. Unwind. Whew. Both feet come down to the mat. Hands can come down to our side. Wiggle it out. Good. And then from here, shifting the weight over to our left leg. Let's lift up the right. Beautiful. And then slowly moving the hands out in front of us like we're reaching for something. Good. And then we'll cross that left arm over the right, bringing it around, and then taking that right leg, crossing it around the left. If we can get those toes to wrap around the calf, awesome. But if not, like most people, we're all awesome. Let's sit that butt down a little bit lower. Pull the hands away from our faces. Good. Inhale. Let's unwind. Both feet find the mat. Inhale. Hands come up to the sky. And then exhale. Let's fold forward. From here, let's bend the knees enough that our hands can find our mats. And we'll begin to walk heel toe, all the way to a wide-legged forward fold here. Exhale, lower the chest and head. And let's inhale to a flat back here. Hands are underneath of our shoulders. Begin to walk heel toe. Walk those feet in a little bit closer together, but not all the way together. A little bit wider than the hips. And then we're going to lower down into a Malasana Squat. Toes are pointing out to the corners of the mat. Butts are low. Chests are proud and high. Elbows come to the inside of our knees. And the hands come together at our hearts. And let's release those hands. We'll place our left hand onto our mat, still elbow to the inside of that knee. And then the right hand can come up to the sky. And then slowly coming back to the center. Take a breath here. And then other side, right hand can come down to the mat. Left hand reaches nice and high. And we'll come back to the center. Again, another breath. And then we'll slowly help ourselves down to our bottoms. Feet can come out in front of us. We can shake those legs out if we would like. Good. And now from here, we're going to tuck this left foot in towards our body. We're just going to let it relax and hug and hang out right here. And we're going to hug this right knee into our body. Nice and tight. And then we'll take the foot, and place it into our left elbow. Find our balance here. The knee comes around, hooks inside that right elbow. We'll clasp our hands together and then straighten our back. If we're happy here, we stay here. If we would like, we can even give it a little bit of a rock. Rock that baby. If this is tough on our hips, we can go into a figure 4 where our knee is holding our ankle, or we can come into this version. Hopefully we're feeling a little bit of a glute stretch in here, maybe some rotation in this right hip. Beautiful. Let's release this right leg. We'll make it nice and long. Out in front of us, touching the left foot into Janu Shirshasana here. Good. And then we'll turn our torso toward this left knee. Nice tall spine here. And then lowering down that right elbow to the inside of the leg. And the left hand can reach up and possibly over, stacking the shoulders. Inhale, we'll come back up. And we'll work over onto the second side. So we'll bring this right foot in, just let it hang out in an easy position here. And we'll hug this left knee in, bringing the foot in towards us and hooking the foot into our elbow on one side. The knee hooks into the elbow on the other side. Find those sitting bones. Lift the heart, lengthen in that back. Breathe into our belly, so we should feel our tummy pressing into this thigh as we inhale and exhale. Do one more big breath here. Good. And then release that left foot. Lengthen the leg out in front of us. Right foot comes to the inside of this thigh. And then we'll turn toward the right knee. Tall spine here. We'll lower the left elbow down to our mats, to the inside of the leg. And then inhale, lifting the right hand up and over. Inhale, coming back up. We'll bring both feet back onto the mat, bent knees. We'll hug those knees into our chest here. When we're ready, we'll rock back onto our backs. We can even give ourselves a little floor massage here as we rock forward and backward, up and down our spine. We can go side to side. Good. And then let's rest those shoulders and our heads onto our mats. We'll release the left leg, hug the right knee into our body. Tight, 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 tight. Good. Releasing that right knee, guiding it across our body for a spinal twist. Reach that right arm out to the side, looking toward those fingers. Left hand can touch the knee or can come out to the side as well. If we're touching the knee, we're not forcing, we're just adding a little tiny bit of weight to help encourage that knee to keep going in the direction that we would like it to go. Gently come back to the center. Hands will find the back of our leg towards our hamstring or to our calf, and we'll reach our foot up towards the sky. Good. And then bending both knees, bringing them into our chest, rolling up into our ball. Moving over to the other side, releasing the right leg, hugging the left in towards our body. Tight, tight. And then release and guide that knee across our body over to the right. Making sure that both shoulders are resting in towards our mat. bring that knee back in toward the center. Touch the back of our leg, lengthen, bring the knee or the heel all the way up to the sky. Gently encourage the leg to come in towards us just a little bit. One last time, let's roll up into our little ball, both knees into our chest. We'll hug tightly, bring our chin in towards our knees. One inhale here. And exhaling, release everything down to our mats. Hands can come down to our sides. Tuck our chin, opening up the back of our neck. Legs are long and soft. Eyes are closed. Give ourselves permission to just be still for a few minutes. time, bring the knees into our chest. We'll rock over onto our side. Gently help ourselves back up to seated. We'll take another moment to check in with how we are feeling right now. Inhale, lift our hands up to the sky, bringing them together at the top. And we'll exhale them down to our hearts with a purpose. So grateful that you took time out of your day to help you through your practice. I hope that you feel even just the tiniest bit better than when you started. Let's keep that feeling going throughout the rest of our day. I wish you all a very, very happy day. Great rest of your week. And I hope to see you again soon. The light and the divine in me recognizes and respects the light and the divine in each of you. And when we are together, whether physically or virtually, we are one. Namaste.